Hello, my name's Joe Bennett, and this is Source World Part 7. Here today, riding around a canoe on a pond, talking about how we can be the greatest we can be, and really live a life of love and enjoyment in every moment. Always striving and thriving. So basically, I'm always thinking about how to live life to the fullest. And when you're in that place for long enough, you see that always involves playing and having fun 100% of the time and, enjoying yourself. And if you keep doing that, you'll see that there is a being that is an expression of the collective, who is at peace with everything. And that's our true selves. And that's the part of us that creates everything in our lives. The being that is at the greatest peace has created your life. The part of you that is at the greatest peace has created your life. You have nothing to complain about. Any suffering at all, you can't complain about it, because that peaceful being created it. And that's you. If you think you're your mind, then you'll see that you'll suffer. So here we are. What are we to do? Try to ignore that fact and not live in the expansion? Or do we live in the expansion and chase our goals and see what goals that our heart is expressing, even though our mind might not even know what that might be? It might start as something formless, and if we won't know, and we'll keep chasing it, and eventually we'll manifest something in form that came from love. This is how the greats live. They don't always know what they're manifesting. They shape the light until the light is grounded into a real event. That's how the greats live, who live in this world, who live in our world. Essentially, people will pretend that they're not universal beings, and they're testing you to strive harder and harder. This is basically the human part of themselves who's forgotten that they're the creator. They haven't awoken to the fact that they are the most peaceful being, and they have manifested all the suffering in their lives. That's what happened. You've forgotten this for far too long. It's the human race, and we've been after greed. It's insane. It's a nightmare. We must stop and forgive ourselves. If you're having trouble being spiritual 24/7, remember that there is a spirit in charge of everything you think and everything that you see and experience. So that means that your God self will veil you from certain memories that you're trying to remember, certain facts. And if you're not living spiritual 24/7, your God self won't let you see the sights the right way. Your consciousness is actually controlled by your God self. And that's not your mind. You're never going to be able to pin it down fully as long as you're in a physical body. I'm sorry, we just can't handle that vibration. But these are the beings that are in charge of us. So we must surrender to it. Even if you have $1 million, you need to surrender to the God self. Because you won't be able to see things from the heart. Any view that you're doing and putting it together, your mind's always manipulating it. But behind that, your God self is putting together the entire view. So I'm seeing the trees in a certain way. And if I surrender to that God self who's in charge, then I'll see the trees in a more harmonious way for my mind and for what I'm thinking and doing and my relationship to the whole world. Even if I'm not sure why I'm doing certain moves or making certain moves, you won't understand. But you'll be rewarded for it. And the veils will be lifted. And you'll be able to see things in a way you haven't seen before. I don't care if you're rich or how much money you have. To see things in a more harmonious manner is what we are requesting from our hearts. We wish to see the utmost of beauty all the time. And God is controlling how we see this. So even if we have to tend to some things that might not be important to us in the slightest, this will benefit you, because even that thing is a small part of you. You're a hologram of the universe. You contain all of that information. So, even if you have to be nice to people that you don't even know, do it, because that'll make a small part of you feel good. Their information is inside of your brain all the time. So enjoy that, and you'll see the truth. Sometimes I go beyond the limits of normal functioning, and I've seen the future. I have surrendered to love in the spheres or arenas of people that I hang out with. And sometimes they've said, I'm not feeling the love right now. And when they did that, I put so much into the moment that I saw the future. And at that point, I didn't know what the future was. It didn't mean anything to me. But I remembered what I saw. And eventually that future came to be. And when it did, I said to those same people, I'm really feeling the love right now. And I think they had forgotten about that slight moment. Days passed, but then they did feel the love. And they repeated what I said, and it was a powerful moment for everybody. I saw the future, and it meant nothing to me at that point, but I remembered because it was a spiritual experience. And that is the most valuable thing of all. True wealth is spiritual experiences, because they show you the truth, even when you think it is the most unlikely outcome. You'll see the truth. And then when you see that future days later, and it is in the present, you'll be happy that you surrendered to love. You will. You'll be able to see things clearly, and you'll be aligned with the universe in a way that you'll see as beautiful and brilliant.